Oh boy, had to restart my recording and drop some elevation. I don't really know where I'm supposed to be heading as well. Is that the runway right there? I think so. So we're doing landing challenges. Real quick. But basically, I'm gonna be playing some of this 2020 Flight Simulator on my channel. Brushing up on my airplane skills again. About every 5 months or so, I get the aviation bug, and I have to come back on and relearn how to do VFR, IFR, instrument, all that stuff. Because at some point in my life, I know I will be using, or not using, but I will be flying a plane once I can afford one. So here's a little runway out to lift. This one's gonna be easy. We don't have any flaps down yet. We're gonna do like 2 or 3 of these today, and this will start our series of relearning how to fly planes. You gotta start off with landing, and I'm not going into this completely dry. I did just take off from my home airport, fly a quick pattern, and land at it. So I wasn't in this airplane though. I was in the bush plane. So right now we are a little bit too high, so we're going to take the throttle down. And in the airplane, you don't want to point the nose at the ground. You want to pull up to bleed off the airspeed. Put more flaps in. And we're still way too high.
500.
We might make it though. I want to start trimming the plane out though. I can't. Really, it's hard to... Oh yeah, this is a terrible landing. Should have been paying more attention. I didn't look at the screen beforehand. But basically, we way overshot this. At this point, it'd be smart to just do a go around. But we're just gonna smack into the old floor just for funsies. Ooh, that was a fucking rough landing too. You got a nice porpoising bounce. Ah, beautiful. She comes to a stop. That was a B? That was a B? Landing precision? Why did it give me a B? That was terrible. This is why I'm not necessarily a big fan of these flying challenges. But it's a good point to start off. Okay, so we're going to come in at 100. We need to be about 70. Way out at the end of this river or lake, whatever this is. A reservoir, probably. So let's go ahead and put on the first set of flaps now. Remember, keep your nose lifted up at the horizon. Don't point your nose down. Oh, she's just going to fly at the ground quickly. Get my mouse ready to be able to look around. It's weird with my setup because I don't have an IFR or head tracker system. I have to use my mouse to look around and my left hand to fly, but I like to use my right hand to fly, so I switch my hands off in between. Like when I go for the landing, I'll use my right hand, but right now we're using my left hand just to get a set up for it. And I believe I'm probably way high still, so... Actually, no, we're good. We got a second set of flaps down. We're way below 70 knots at this point. So now let me just do some really fantastic lining up here and get myself trimmed out, because I'm not trimmed out. The more trimmed out you are, the more smoother everything looks. Oh yeah, we're at a much more manageable height now. Because the runway is supposed to sit above your hood. Now we just gotta play with the power. I actually got to fly a Cessna one time in my life, and that's why I love aviation so much. I've never ridden in a full-size jet, airliner, anything like that. No commercial flights. This one time I stood in line at the airport when I was young for 2 hours, and the instructor let me fly his freaking plane, dude. Could not believe it. It was supposed to be just rides, but as soon as we got in the air, the guy's like, "You want to fly this?" And then he just held his hands up and basically showed me how to turn. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever experienced, and we are still overshooting like crazy. So I'm gonna break my own rule. I'm just gonna fly at the ground. I just want to see how this is gonna grade me. Because does it want us to touch down right there? That's where it wants us to touch down? See, I don't quite understand how these challenges do work. Because usually you're supposed to touch down at the landing markers, which are at the beginning. That was an A. That was an A. We're talking a good grade right there. I would disagree very strongly that that was a good landing. B? A? So what, you can get an A plus possibly? Like how does that work? 1,000 or 1,999,000 is like the best you can do. And we got 1,171,000. We're gonna go ahead and do that one more time. Today's video will be quite lengthy. Okay, let's just go ahead and trim out right away, so I don't have to fight that shit. I need to get better trim buttons. If I had my trim buttons on the side of my mouse still, which is what they used to be, that'd be way easier, but I don't. Dang, I still did not look at the elevation. I wish we had like a checklist or something here that could tell us the elevation of that airport so I could drop 1,000 feet. Because that's what you want to be. You want to be about 1,000 feet pattern height above. So I'm going to do some forceful elevation loss here by flying out the ground. I'm going to put a lot more concentration into this one as well. Like, I want to hit everything perfect. Because I know what should be considered a great landing, you know. So if it gives us a good score off a shitty landing again, yeah, no thank you. Like if we do a really good one. Because right here, those first marks on that airport, those strippy lines, those are your aiming markers. And then the marker right behind that are your landing or your touchdown markers. So you aim for these ones. Right? And in by aiming for these, this is where you usually flare out. You start floating in ground effect above the runway. Oh, I guess those are our landing markers, so. That was really good. Could have been more softer. We're just going to keep rolling because of ground roll. See how that scores. Alright, we rolled there quite a bit. Oh, nice. We did get some better score. So maybe, what could we have done? Really up the softness? I mean, the softness was pretty good. 180 feet, or 185 feet per minute. Actually, maybe that's not good. I can't remember what I would get back then. But let's go ahead and do one more. It's one I've done on this channel before. It's called like the Kerchel or whatever. Where is it at? Where is it at? It's right there, but it's not in that plane. It was in a different one. Oh well, we'll try it. We'll try it. This is actually my favorite plane to fly in the game. There's a YouTuber who flies this plane and makes really good content. Not this exact model, but his name is Fsx2020. So if you really enjoy watching people fly planes in real life, kind of from a vlog perspective, the guy has really good content inside of a TBM. This is going to be all completely different speeds we're working with. This is a turboprop, so don't expect this to go great. Let me just say that. God, there's the landing strip already right there.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
But look at this thing, man. This thing is beautiful. That's actually a radar detector out there to our left. I can't remember how to use the screens. But down there you can turn on the radar and see live weather updates in front of this airplane, which is great for flying into weather. So once I get back into the groove of things, we'll be doing most of our IFR flights in this bad boy. Long form content. Kind of like how I'm doing this video. Unedited flights. That's what I want to do for Flight Simulator. Because when I watch people take off and fly and do everything, I want to see every second of it. Okay, we're going to start adding some power. We're lined up pretty well right now. I need to be real careful with the power here. Because if I come up short, there's a little hill in the front of this that you bounce off of. I believe I'm actually underpowered right now, so I'm going to yank up a little bit and then shut off the power and hope for the best. Nope. Hit that hill. Dang it. Okay. That's fine. That is perfectly okay. At least I didn't overshoot it like crazy, like I've been doing.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
What is that warning right there? Oh, that's our landing gear going out. Cool. Let's get trimmed for success. Yeah, I really do need new trim buttons. These are absolutely obnoxious trim buttons. I don't have any aileron trim either. So like if I let go of my controls completely, you'll see the airplane just start slowly rotating over to the right. Actually gonna go a little bit more straight here and extend just a little bit more than I did last time. Okay, now I'll start turning. And since we came in so low last time, I think what I'll do is I'll try to stay higher. And instead of aiming for the very front of those strips, I'll aim for the very back of the strips. And maybe those small amounts of changes will be enough to help my brain nail the landing here. Because this is a really weird landing. That's why this level is one of the harder ones. And when I did it last, it was I think it was a daily challenge or something. It was a prop plane. Well, this is a prop plane. It was a slower plane, kind of like a Cessna. I can't remember what it's called. All right, let's aim. Aim correctly here. Begin our flare.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Oh, we did it again. I'm just going way too slow. Way too slow. You really gotta finesse it. Okay, this is what I need to be looking at this whole time. 6,300, so we'll just round 6,400. So we're basically 1,000 feet
Landing
above that already.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
But now that I know the exact elevation on that, that's gonna help. This time we're only gonna try one flap. Actually, no, we're gonna need both flaps. We just won't go as slow. We're going around 61, 69 miles per hour. In that range, we'll just stay above 69 now. We'll go 70. Stay above 70 the whole way in. What I love about this game, though, is you have to finesse everything to be able to have a perfect landing, especially on a hard challenge like this. You have to have your trim right. You have to have your throttle control perfect. Kind of wish I had a better throttle yoke set up, because I just have like the $30 Logitech Pro, which works really well for most applications. So I'm not complaining too bad, but if I had a full-on yoke, I could really finesse it. Okay, right, 80 miles per hour. Coming in. Lower the throttle. And we're gonna start our flare. Perfect. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but we weren't tracking so straight. I had to let go of my mouse and a few things, and we're gonna get up this hill. This is actually a sloped runway too, which is cool about it. This is how I plan to have a runway if I ever get to build one next to my house, is to live on the side of a hill and have a little bush plane I can land on the side of it with. Let's go and stop so we can get the score. What do we do? We did a B. Not too fantastic, but we'll take it. So we're going to go ahead and leave it there for that video. Sorry I wasn't performing my best tonight. We had to try those multiple times. I promise the next time I get back I'll be a little bit more warmed up, but expect to fully learn how to fly planes with me on this channel. If you are a young man who wants to get into aviation, I could be a good resource for that, you know. You can learn along with me on how to fly. So this one's going to be our first episode, just getting re-familiar with landing, and I don't know if we're going to follow the tutorials that are built into the game on how to get back into everything else. I might just start teaching you small things like patterns, like we could do patterns next episode. Just let me know in the comments down below. I really enjoy your viewership though. If you could leave a like, that'd be super cool, and I'm excited to catch you in the next one.